Good Friday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson. Let's go ahead and talk about the weather for your Friday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we are going to be talking about tonight. It is Black Friday evening, and so we're going to be talking about the weather for this evening. And so there's a lot of stuff that I'm about to start off and say real quick. But first off, as we always do, as we always do, we have made it to Friday evening. It is Friday evening. We're done with the work week. And all the way to Friday. We have Saturday and Sunday to rest now, and before we get back to it Monday through Friday again next week. But that time, it will actually be December instead of November. And so that stuff is coming soon, and especially now that we're on the topic of winter, next week, Monday, we'll be talking about our December and winter forecast for that night of Monday on Monday night. So make sure that you're there for that. And then also, if you have not hit the like button yet, go ahead and do so. 7 people watching so far, and only 6 likes, so pretty good so far. And also hit the subscribe button if you are new and you've never hit it already. We have hit 625 subscribers. We are a quarter of the way there to 700. Yes. 75 more subscribers to go until we get to that main goal of 700. So let's go on and get there and share with all the people that you know, friends, family members, acquaintances, co-workers, people you don't like, somebody that you sat behind in the drive-thru today while you're going through McDonald's, just anybody. It doesn't matter. Go on and share it with them, as it will help me out, help the channel out, and it will help me get out better content. Now, let's go on and talk about the weather for tonight. First off, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the weather for tonight. We're also going to talk about what is currently going on throughout the state of South Carolina. We'll talk about the short-term future. We'll talk about the long-term future. We'll continue to talk about our temperatures. And then we also will continue to talk about how rain will return pretty soon. And so that's all pretty much I have to say there. So we're going to start off what is currently going on throughout the entire state of South Carolina. Right now, absolutely nothing. We are nice. We are nice and dry right now. Nothing is ongoing right now. But if we look at what's going on throughout the entire U.S., things, obviously, that's not what's going on. As we have rainfall that goes all the way from Texas into Oklahoma into Kansas, Missouri, Colorado. You have snowfall that goes from Missouri all the way to Illinois, to Iowa, to the Dakotas, to Montana, to Wyoming, to Idaho. And then even up here inside of the Northeast and the Great Lakes, snowfall is going on up here as well. Everyone else in the Southeast, though, we're looking nice and dry down over here in the Southeast. Now, what about our cloud cover? Cloud cover for the state of South Carolina right now. We do have some definitely in the low country, the southern Midlands, and good amount of the upstate as well. So cloud cover definitely is ongoing right now throughout the state. Is it, covering the entire state? No, but definitely I can see a lot on the actual cloud cover map. And if we go into our future in terms of cloud cover, the blue is the cloud cover and the white is the actual clear sky. And so as you go into tomorrow morning, still cloudy throughout pretty much all of the state, even as you go into, this is now not tomorrow morning, but now going into tomorrow night, 9 p.m. right here when I go live. About half the state's covered, while half the state's not. And then as you continue even further into Sunday, we get into Sunday, and you can see cloud cover still ongoing throughout the upstate, throughout the low country, the Midlands, even throughout the PD as well. And then as you get into here, this is Sunday night, going into Monday morning, cloud cover is still here as well. So it looks like cloud cover, for the most part, is still going to be a factor as we move throughout the next 48 hours. And with temperatures being all the way down as well, especially if the sun's covered up, temperatures really aren't going to rise that high. And so what's temperatures right now? 35 in Columbia as well as 34 in Orangeburg, 35 in Sumter as well as 37 in Somerville, 35 in Florence, and 34 in Bennettsville, 37 in Georgetown as well as 40 in Myrtle Beach, 34 in Conway, and even around 37 in Aiken, 43 in Beaufort, and even around 37 in Greenwood, 36 in Anderson, and 37 in Clemson, 33 that is in Greenville, and 34 in Spartanburg, 32 in Rock Hill, York, and Gaffney. Low temperatures for tonight, you have around 25 in Spartanburg, 24 in Rock Hill, and even around 26 in Greenville, 25 in Newberry and Lawrence, and even 28 in Columbia, 28 Aiken and Orangeburg, 30 in Walterboro, Moncks Corner, 24 in Kingstree, 26 in Florence, and 24 in Dillon, 33 in Myrtle Beach, and 31 in Georgetown, 37 in Charleston, and 30 in Moncks Corner, 30 Walterboro, 43 inside of Hilton Head Island. High temperatures for tomorrow. 46 in Greenville as well as 46 Spartanburg and Rock Hill, 47 in Winsboro as well as 48 in Anderson, 48 in Greenwood, and 50 in Columbia, 51 in Orangeburg, and 50 in Aiken, 53 in Walterboro, and 51 in Moncks Corner, 55 in Charleston, and 57 in Hilton Head Island, 51 Georgetown, and 50 in Myrtle Beach. Rainfall for tonight. No rainfall is really expected as we go throughout tonight. Again, no rainfall is expected as we go throughout tonight, and not only tonight, but just throughout the next 24 hours in general. So from now all the way to 9 o'clock p.m. tomorrow, we're not really expecting any sort of accumulable precipitation. So we look good here in terms of rainfall. Crazy score for tonight, we're at a 52. And you're like, okay, well, 52, that's inside the strong category. Strong storms, heavy rain, snow, or wind. But that's not the main reason. That's not the reason. Well, the reason for this is because it's still going to be clear. But it's going to be extremely cold. Completely clear skies, almost completely clear, with near ideal radiational cooling. And so that will cause, and I mean, this is all under a 1030 plus millibar high pressure right now. That is very, very nice conditions. And so that sets up the perfect condition almost for radiational cooling. And so we also will have that widespread hard freeze. Lows will be, I mean, even though the low temperatures you saw right here, I mean, you saw 24, 25. You didn't really see anything too low. There's honestly that chance. There's that chance that we could see some even lower than that into the low 20s, maybe even the high teens as well. Especially if you go the further inland you go, that's where we could potentially see that at. And so not only that, but also if we go into the wind chills as well. Winds obviously not going to be that strong. Winds are not going to be that strong. But if we go into the actual wind chill values, that goes, well, that's for Saturday. But wind chill values could be potentially even lower and can bring the temperatures lower than what it says that it could potentially be. Again, no precipitation and potentially a record challenge. Many locations likely within 2 to 5 degrees of record low temperatures for November the 28th going to the 29th. Coldest night potentially in several years for this day right here for the 28th going to the 29th. So we'll see all that. We'll see what happens here as we get into tomorrow, and then we'll look at the observed temperatures. But for right now, that's just what's going on there. For the SPC outlook, no thunderstorms are expected, though. So as we go through today, tomorrow, Sunday, no thunderstorms are expected. Excessive rainfall. Unfortunately, I can't say all of that for excessive rainfall, as isolated flash flooding is possible as we go into day 4. Now, what is day 4? That is on Monday. So Monday, this is Monday morning going into Tuesday morning. Isolated flash flooding possible inside of Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson, Clemson, going up there into the far upstate near Seneca, Walhalla, Pickens, Greenwood, McCormick, Gaffney as well. All these areas, isolated flash flooding is possible. Then for day 5, this is for Tuesday morning going into Wednesday morning. Isolated flash flooding for York, for Chester, for Winsboro, to Newberry, to Saluda, to Edgefield, Orangeburg, Manning, Kingstree, Myrtle Beach, Florence, Marion, Dillon, Loris. All these areas, isolated flash flooding is possible for these areas as well. And so this is what we will be potentially looking at as we go throughout the next week or so. And we'll see what happens as flash flooding will be making its return. So let's go on and look at the models. So we're going to start off here at the short term first. Start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. Nice and dry throughout the state. We'll continue that as we go all the way into 7 to 8 to 9 p.m. Nice and dry as we go into November the 29th tomorrow night. But things will change as we get into around 10 to 11 p.m. You start to see some of that isolated shower activity start to move in from the coastal areas, moving its way over inside of the inland areas of South Carolina. Now, that will go all the way from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., but it's not really producing like widespread heavy rainfall. It really just seemed like some isolated sprinkles, drizzles, maybe an isolated downpour. Maybe as we get further into the morning as well, on the 30th, which is Sunday, we might start to see some rainfall, more heavier rainfall trying to move through as you go throughout that time frame. But for right now, it looks like that we just have some rainfall that might try to move its way over towards throughout like the coastal areas. And then even if you go into around like 7 a.m. on the 30th here, rainfall continues to move its way through the state, especially throughout the upstate as well. It moves throughout the upstate, the Midlands, goes throughout the Low Country, the PD, the Grand Strand as well. And so, even if we go over, this is now dew points. Is this a cold front, you may ask? Well, it looks like that it is. Definitely looks like that there is going to be a bit of a cold front that tries to move through as we go into Sunday. And so you can see kind of the warm air in front of it because you can see all the cold air that we have right now from the cold front. Now, this is not actual temperatures. This is dew points, but you can see it starts to get a bit moist from that rainfall that tries to move through, and then the cold front behind it. All that moisture comes in and dries everything right back down again. And so what would the temperatures look like? Obviously, temperatures would be dropping back down into those 40s again. And we might try to get back in the 60s and potentially even the 70s as we go back into Sunday. But it's not going to last long, as another cold front will be there right behind it. And another way how you can check as well, if we go to weather.gov real quick, we go over into the forecast maps, and then we go over to the, that's the wrong thing. We go over into the short range models, the NDFD. You're going to see it right here. This goes throughout, today, going into tomorrow. You can see there goes the cold front right there. As you continue your way through there Sunday, and then going into Sunday night, going into Monday, clear that a cold front is right there. And so, cold front will be passing us as we go later into Sunday. Now, what about our long-term future? So that cold front's going through, which is bringing us some below average temperatures as always. But look at this amount of rainfall that we have here on the 2nd. Rainfall that goes through December the 2nd, going into probably like early morning 3rd, but it's not really too much as it goes away. And then as we get towards the 5th and the 6th, look at this heavy rainfall trying to move its way through the state, going throughout the upstate, going throughout the Midlands, the Low Country, from the tip of the state all the way down towards the coastal areas of the state. From December the 6th into the 7th, rainfall definitely is going to be a bit of an issue. And there will be even some cold air that comes in behind it as well. Look at all this cold air that comes through. It brings in its cold air. And then we kind of dry out. After we get past like this main system right here, the 7th. I mean, look how much rainfall we're going to get from that time to the 14th. Not much at all. And so if we go on and look at the actual anomalies as well, you can see here, there goes the cold front moving its way through. And yes, we have pockets of warm air definitely trying to come through, especially as we get before the cold fronts as well. But those cold fronts will come through, and they will try to knock the warm air out. But it won't be for long. Even as you go into the 14th, look at this warm air that tries to come back as we enter into the mid part of December. And so, in terms of exact temperatures as well, even though I know things, it's going to be off, but something to just look at. Freezing temperatures, as we've been talking about, potentially could be there. As we go into the early part of December, we have some more warm air, like I said, that tries to move its way through, but just cold fronts come through, and honestly, we still stay in that 60 range. I'm not really seeing too much in terms of the 70 as we go into like the mid part of December, but that's still 300 plus hours out, so I'm not going to say too much there. Except for warm air definitely is trying to make a return. Warm air is definitely trying to make that return. Cold fronts will still be here. We still will have cold periods, but warm air for sure will be trying to make that return. And so that's it, and that's all that I have to say in terms of the long-term future. What about the tropics? Tropical cyclone activity is not expected as we go throughout the next 7 days, so we are good there in terms of tropical activity. And we talked about the drought already. No earthquake occurred today, I believe. So let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with a trail first. She was the first one here for tonight. And she says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you as well. It's freezing cold. I'm sleeping in my coat, hat, gloves, and leg warmers tonight. I do not blame you, especially if you don't have any heat on, which wouldn't be shocked. But if you do have it on and you're still cold, I still don't blame you because it is cold outside. You are not lying about that. My name says, Loj, a nice sunshiny day, very warm in my front door. That's interesting. With high temperatures today, let me see what's the highest. I got around 56, so at least you got some warmth inside your house. But it is also very toasty in there. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Chris comes in and says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Please remember to go on and hit the like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, share with everyone that you know. He's absolutely correct. Right now, we have 12 people watching and only 10 likes. So, I mean, we're there. We're there, but we still could get a little bit more. So, go on and hit the like button if you have not already. And then my Aunt Shirley says, happy Friday, pray everyone is well. All is well with me. Hopefully all is well with everyone else. And that's all for the audience. There is a poll inside the chat, so go in and vote in that if you have not already. Go in and vote inside the poll if you have not already, because that is there. And we'll get to the answer for that poll in just a second. But first, before we go in and get into that, let's talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 locations, what are you talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and because they tune in almost nightly and their location is not the main one being talked about, we go on and talk about it because they show support even though they really don't have to. So we're going to start off with San Antonio first, as we always do, with low temperatures tonight at 63, high temperatures tomorrow at 75, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 47. Showers are likely tonight. They are likely. Chance of showers tomorrow and tomorrow night as well. Honestly, you're like not in that risk of severe weather. In terms of severe weather, you're not in the risk for severe weather directly, but you're like right on that border. So thunderstorms definitely are possible for you tomorrow as the ingredients are in place. Excessive rainfall is also not expected for you either, so you're good there. Then for Raleigh, North Carolina, you have low temperatures tonight at 25, high temperatures tomorrow at 46, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 31. No precipitation is expected at this time. In terms of severe weather, none there, but excessive rainfall on Tuesday morning going into Wednesday morning for Raleigh. Isolated flash flooding is possible for you, so you're going to have to watch out for some heavy rainfall on that day. That's it for Raleigh. In terms of Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 30, high temperatures tomorrow at 42, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 30 as well. No precipitation is expected at this time. And then in terms of excessive rainfall on, seems like same thing, Tuesday going into Wednesday, that isolated flash flooding threat is there for Philadelphia, so you're going to have to watch out for that on Tuesday morning going into Wednesday morning during that time frame. In terms of severe weather, no severe weather is expected for you. And then the final area being Duncan, Oklahoma, with low temperatures tonight at 47, high temperatures tomorrow at 65, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 25. Chance of showers tonight and tomorrow, but tomorrow night no chance of showers at all. So seems like a cold front potentially passing you as well, making it cooler. That's it in terms of the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. What's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise? Heavy lake effect snow will persist downwind of the Great Lakes through early Saturday. Snow squalls with heavy snow and gusty winds will create dangerous travel conditions in the interior Northeast due to low visibility and slippery roads. Not the best time to have that, especially when Thanksgiving is ending. People are coming back home. But a major winter storm will also bring moderate to heavy rainfall and snowfall with gusty winds from the eastern plains into the western Great Lakes. Not only through today, but through Saturday as well. Freezing conditions also ongoing throughout much of the south. And then after that, that's about all that I see. Freezing temperatures will also be ongoing throughout a good amount of the central plains after that cold front passes through. And that's about all that I can see here in terms of the entire U.S. So, I put a poll inside of the chat. Let me see. I said, are you ready for winter? 62% says yes, 38% says no, and 0% says they don't really care. So most people are ready for winter to start, while still a good amount, around 38% of people said that they are not ready for winter. I am. Definitely, I mean, I'm ready for all the seasons, to be honest. Just to see some change. Obviously, I don't want to see the same season just over and over again. When it's time to go, it's time. And when we move on to the next one, we just move on to the next one. So that's my mindset with it. But that's all that I have in terms of the poll there. Let me go and check out the chat one more time. I forgot if I read Mr. Chris's last message, but if I didn't, I'm just going to go and read it again. He says, before you went live, I checked my thermometer here, and it is 33 degrees. Right now, where I am, my older weather station right now says it is 32 degrees, 32.4, so it is below freezing at my house. And my new one says 33, and it's about around just 1.0 degrees higher, so only a degree higher. So around 32.4 for my old one, 33.4 for my new one. And then Connor's Adventure says, upstate South Carolina, I'm concerned about going out tomorrow. Is it going to be really cold tomorrow? Yeah, I mean, if you go to those high temperatures tomorrow, yeah, it's going to be, in the 40s. So nothing that you haven't seen tomorrow, but you definitely are going, you definitely are going to need something to wrap up, whether it be a jacket, hoodie, whatever it is that you need for 46, 45, 48 degree weather, because it's going to be cold tomorrow. But I wouldn't be worried. I'd just be prepared for it. And so, y'all know the saying, at least some of us do, you're not supposed to be scared, or worried, you're supposed to be prepared for it instead. So, we are definitely in this time period to where even the crazy score said 52, in terms of the crazy score, because that's just how the weather is right now, and all these potentially record-breaking cold temperatures, especially during the nighttime. So we'll talk about that. Let's see, we have some new chats come in. Let's see, Trail says, oh, the heat is on. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Glad that you do have it on. And then Mr. Chris said, everyone, please stay safe and warm tonight. Going to be cold, absolutely. And then Connor says, and we are prepared. Well, glad to hear that. I'm very glad to hear that. Hopefully everyone is prepared. And speaking of, it is freezing, so you know what that means. If you have any pets outside, you have any outdoor plumbing that's not wrapped, you need to drip your pipes, you need to go on and bring in any plants as well, even though I know it's a bit late. My plant is a bit drought and cold resistant, freezing resistant, so I hope that it's going to be fine. I hope, but I left it out there. I hope that it's going to be fine, though. It's not going to be a too hard of a freeze, though, from where I am. And that's all. So let me go in and check out the top fans for the night tonight. Let me go in and check. 1, 2, 3, 4. I only see 4. 1, 2, 3, if I'm not mistaken. So Mr. Chris is at number 1. Trail's at number 2, and then Connor is at number 3. So let's go on and give a round of applause for all of these 3 people that have made it to the top fans for the night tonight. And that's all. So I will be back tomorrow morning for your Saturday morning forecast update, and also I'll be here tomorrow evening as well. Huge amount of events coming up. Sunday evening we'll be talking about the week forecast, the last day of November going into the first week of December, not the first full week, but the first week. And then we also will talk about the winter and the December forecast on Monday. So make sure that you are prepared for that as well. Make sure that you want to show up to that as well. That is all that I have, though. So everyone have a fantastic rest of your Friday, and make sure that you tune back in tomorrow.